Welcome to Polotiki on News 24. My name is Mahlase. It's day 3 of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into state capture. And today is the big one. We're expecting the former Deputy Finance Minister Mcebisi Jonas to be taking the stand, of course, following his startling revelations that he made in 2015. To look forward to his testimony and to discuss what more we can expect, I'm joined here by my colleagues, News 24 assistant editor Pieter, Toit, and also our legal reporter, Jeanette, Chabalala. Thank you for joining me. Jeanette, let me start with you. Just remind us again what Jonas had to say about this alleged meeting that he had with the Gupta family in Saxonwold.
Good morning, Mahlatse, and thank you so much. So today it's day 3, so Mcebisi Jonas will be the second witness for the Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture. It's an exciting day. I'm excited to hear his testimony. So he made allegations that the Gupta family offered him 600 million in a position as finance minister. This position was apparently offered in October. As you can remember, Mahlatse, it was weeks leading to when Nhlanhla got fired. And then Des van Rooyen being hired, and then again following pressure from businesses and the ANC, the former President Jacob Zuma had to fire him again and then appoint Pravin Gordhan in this position. So it's going to be an exciting one today. I can't wait.
Of course, Pieter, this basically blew wide open the issues around state capture. It was an issue that the media was writing about, but then seeing Mcebisi Jonas confirming on the record saying that I was actually offered the money for this cabinet position, then things started moving along.
Mahlatse, good morning. Yes, it was a pivotal moment in the whole state capture saga. Mcebisi Jonas, Deputy Minister of Finance to Nhlanhla at that stage, the incident at Saxonwold where Mcebisi Jonas went to the Saxonwold compound of the Gupta family on invitation of Duduzane Zuma and the Uber fixer Vanat Longwane. That was a big moment in the brazenness of the Guptas, I think, because it was at that stage where they actually went to one of the premier ministries in cabinet, in government, and tried to influence what was happening at National Treasury. It just shows the arrogance with which the Guptas operated at that stage. Now, it happened in October 2015. It only came to light in March the following year. So my question is, why did it take 5 months for the public to hear about this? Why did Nene wait 5 months? Why did we only hear about it 5 months after it actually happened?
And of course, these are the questions that we will expect them to actually put to Mcebisi Jonas. We are, of course, Jeanette, not expecting that he will be cross-examined as yet. Just explain how that process will unfold.
Well, his legal team AJ's legal team, Mike Helens, and Duduzane's legal team, they have to apply to the commission to cross-examine. So this might not be the last time he appears here. He's going to have to come back for that.
So he will be led in his evidence.
Yes.
It will probably be Advocate Paul Pretorius, if I'm not mistaken. He will take the oath of, I suppose he'll take an oath or an affirmation, and then he'll be led through the testimony. And Mahlatse, this remains gold, doesn't it?
Yeah, and just take us through. I mean, there were some pivotal remarks that were made by the public protector in his state of capture report in relation to that meeting that Mcebisi Jonas talked to.
It's pretty detailed, this report by the public protector, the former public protector, Tuli Maronsela. It details SMS messages, WhatsApp messages between Duduzane, Vanat Longwane and Mcebisi Jonas. It details where how the contact started, how they met at the Rosebank Hyatt, or the Hyatt in Rosebank, Hyatt Hotel in Rosebank, how they was toing and froing, they couldn't set up a meeting, then they met there, they drove to the Saxonwold compound, and then it's pretty detailed. Mcebisi Jonas gave a pretty detailed account of the meeting. AJ saying that they've already scored 6 billion rands from the South African state. They want to increase that to 8 billion. And then Jonas inquired, but what do you want? And then he said that National Treasury is a stumbling block to the family's business ambitions. So it was very clear at that stage they were targeting Treasury, they were trying to infect Treasury.
But my question here, Pieter, is that Jonas knew about the Gupta family, allegations. Why did he agree to the meeting?
Jeanette, that's an excellent question. Why did he agree? You're right. By that time, we were writing about the Guptas at that stage. You know, we were writing about this phenomenon around state capture. Why did Jonas decide to take that meeting? You're right. It was fixed by Fana Hlongwane, who he knew was a problematic figure coming from the arms deal inquiry.
Yes.
Duduzane was already a controversial figure. I mean, he should have known, if I take this appointment with the Guptas in Saxonwold, if I go to Saxonwold, it will most certainly come out. So you're right. We need answers to that.
Of course, as this inquiry is going underway, we know that Duduzane has already been charged for this particular matter, but Fana Hlongwane is not just yet.
Yeah, we are not sure why Fana is not charged yet, but the corruption case was opened in 2016, Mahlatse. It took them this long for the case to actually be in court, and now the state asked for a lengthy postponement for further investigation. So it's quite interesting.
I'm going to be talking to you about what other questions we can be expected to be put to Mcebisi Jonas, but I wanted us to watch Mcebisi Jonas speaking to News 24's Frontline, where he was explaining his own definition of what state capture is and the consequences on South Africa's democracy. Let's watch.
In a context where you gradually see a scenario where people begin to have more influence on policy processes, and many people to use the term policy capture first, you know, because that's what starts. So you start certain sectors of the economy, and I'm saying sectors of the economy, start capture, or subsectors of the economy start capturing the policy formulation process. Everything that the state says in policy reflects what their interests are. The danger with such a situation, it consolidates concentration in the economy, it promotes marginalization, etc., etc. And that's a very dangerous state to be in. But if you go around, and I'm no academic, but I know that if you study many countries, you'd find that you have instances where gradually you have individuals who then capture the state, not just sectors, but where individuals have so big influence on the state, and therefore they begin to steer it in particular directions. I think why South Africans should be worried about the development like that is that it undermines democracy to begin with, but it also can lead to a point where it undermines the effectiveness of government and the efficiency levels in government. So that's why you have to be consciously looking at that and protecting the state and its independence as much as you can.
Now,
it could also cause something else, I mean, by the way. So you take charge of state institutions and you start directing them in different directions and so on. It can have disastrous consequences. But finally, if the population loses confidence in the state because their perception is that it is not working in their interest, it can create huge instabilities in the system and even undermine development across the board. So that's why you have to nip it in the bud if you can, and that's my view, and actually try to mobilize society against it and ensure that society speaks against it and get focus on it. In a context where you...
That, of course, was the former Deputy Finance Minister, Mcebisi Jonas, talking there about how state capture works. And he says the first that they do is try and capture policy and try and direct that. Of course, he is the man of this hour, or the man of today, because he is the second witness here at the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into State Capture. We understand he has already entered the room, and also former Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan, and now Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan is also here in the room. But of course, this testimony, Pieter, it is going to be quite crucial, because the questions every South African wants to know is what exactly were the Guptas looking for that Nene could not agree to?
Exactly. We got information in drips and drabs over the last couple of years. Obviously, both Ministers Gordhan and Jonas tried to get as much out there as possible, but this is now an official process. It's an official process under the Deputy Chief Justice. I can't wait to hear his insider account, what went down in National Treasury. Why was National Treasury targeted by the state capturers, and what did they do to resist? I can't wait.
Of course, we all can't wait. We're going to leave it here for now. Please stay tuned to News 24. We will be bringing you all of the happenings inside the commission as Mcebisi Jonas testifies. Joining me were our assistant editor, Pieter, Toit, and our legal reporter, Jeanette Chabalala. My name is Mahlatse.